Now, this afternoon, as we sat down to prepare our story list for the show, two unusual headlines caught our attention, two very interesting yet frightening stories. The first one was about self-replicating robots. Robots that can reproduce, create copies of themselves, make babies like humans do, robots. The second story was about a tech firm which is offering money to people to have their faces imprinted on robots to create what they call robots with human faces. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions or question the intention of the scientists involved, but it's hard to not ask this question. Have these people never read science fiction? They're creating robots that can multiply and machines that will look like us. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that's the question we'll try to answer tonight, because they've not been able to answer it themselves, as we decode the many dangers involved with such experiments and understand the many adverse consequences they can lead to. We'll begin with the reproductive robots. They're being nurtured in the United States. Scientists have created robots that can produce an offspring. They're calling them xenobots. This is what they look like. These tiny organisms that you see, these spherical clumps, they're xenobots. And they're not made of metal or plastic. They've been created from biological tissues, which essentially makes them living robots. Robots that can move on their own, heal on their own, and now, of course, reproduce on their own. How exactly were they created? By assembling stem cells from embryos into synthetic life forms. Allow me to explain. I know it sounds complicated. In order to design these xenobots, scientists first created random 3D designs on a supercomputer, like the one that you see. Simulative blocks of skin and heart cells that can move on their own. These blocks or configurations were then assigned tasks through an algorithm. What kind of tasks? Like walking in a certain direction, basic things. The most promising configurations here, the ones that perform the tasks well, were then taken to a lab to be injected with life. Life taken from African clawed frogs. These toads that you see, they're the source of life in xenobots. This species is found in sub-Saharan Africa. It can regenerate its skin when wounded. So this is what scientists did. Take out skin and heart